He grew up around tradesmen, immigrants, people who built things with their hands. He tried the corporate route, tried the boardroom, the suit, the degree. Didn't work for him. It didn't stick. Today, Ricardo runs Silvakey Concepts, a 2,000 square meter manufacturing facility, turning bare walls in lobbies, restaurants into masterpieces.
What makes a good partner is symmetry, so that you have the same long-term objectives but also have differences.
Silvakey isn't his first business, it's his second. It's not over. You can always start again.
What value do you have to add to the business?
Okay.
What value do you have to add to me?
The first one went under.
I'm scared of refailing again.
This week on Mont Blanc Academy, we're dealing with the real cost of scaling too quickly.
The team that takes you to 100,000 isn't the team that takes you to 1 million.
Cash flow is king.
If it appreciates, buy it. If it depreciates, lease it.
What it takes to rebuild after your business has collapsed. You know what? A lot of entrepreneurs fail. Well, they don't get it right the first time. Okay, and I can tell you that it took 1 year for me to go bang. 250-seater pizza pastaria underneath the Cresta Health and Racket. Took 1 year. You know, we were young, dumb, but we were excited. But we didn't know anything about business, so we went under. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite a simple story, and I mean I can elaborate on it. But we thought we knew what it took to run a restaurant, and it wasn't like a little 40-seater. It was 250-seater pizza pastaria. Okay, with a hefty rental bill, and paying the same rates as if we were inside the Cresta shopping centre,
yeah.
but we weren't. We were outside. I don't know if you know that area.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay,
area.
so the thing is, like, your first business. Let's talk about what makes a good partner. Come on, I had to throw that one in there.
Yeah.
Before we say what's a bad partner, what's a good partner? What are the attributes that you think?
What makes a good partner from my perspective is obviously someone who's, biggest thing is symmetry, so that you have the same long-term objectives but also have differences or different strengths. So if you both got the same strengths, you kind of tend to tread on each other's toes, where if you got different value adds, in my type of industry, one's more technical, the other one's more administrative. It doesn't help having two strong administrative people. There's differences, complementary differences, and then there's also the same type of objectives and goals and vision, that you have a shared vision.
And what about dishonesty and trust?
Trust is the biggest factor.
Okay, so what happened in your previous business, your first business? What made it work in the beginning, and what was its downfall?
My previous business it grew very fast.
Okay.
The infrastructure grew quick enough, but the knowledge and the know-how didn't grow at the same pace. We grew exponentially. We grew about 700%.
Okay.
But 700% growth is 700% growth holistically. Growth in expenditures, pressure, and that type of stuff.
So what was wrong? Were you spending too much? Were you living the high life? Were you ahead of your income stream?
No, we overcapitalized on the infrastructure.
Okay.
So to try and build up enough revenue and income to sustain that is tough. We went from a medium-sized company to an extremely large company, and I bought into an existing business,
Okay.
35 staff, and then 35, then it grew to 70, which was still manageable. And then we were sitting at 148.
Okay.
But the logistics of managing 148 people, your processes, your accounting systems, your payroll systems need to evolve. So my biggest issue wasn't a dishonesty issue, it was a complacency issue. You can't operate at the same level. I always like to speak metaphorically. It's like playing local football and then trying to compete in the English Premier League. You need the right players. You might do well locally, but you can't compete on a premium scale. Then you need different things like your nutritional team, medical team.
If I have to sort of unpack that for everyone, it's like what got you here isn't going to take you there. You don't just do 5 times more.
In an entrepreneurial business, there's a big difference being an entrepreneur in your own business to being a listed company. So listed company, you've got shareholders and investors, and access to funding is a lot easier and manageable. When you're an entrepreneur, you're normally self-funded, or you've got different partnerships. It's about networking and surrounding yourself with the right people.
So funding was an issue.
Funding wasn't our issue. Layman's terms. So we had like a small accounts department. Okay, a small accounts department. In our business, the project manager was the factory manager, was the site manager. So as you grow with your client base, things become more contractual, but you're not a contractual expert. So you lack contractual expertise and you make those types of mistakes. So our accounting, I mean, when I bought into the company, we were collecting stuff, sending it to the bookkeeper. Okay, information wasn't on hand. We didn't have daily management accounts to monitor. So it was send it to the bookkeeper at the end of the year. You'd get a financial report and see, did you make profit or didn't you make profit? Now there's new systems that are live systems that you can keep up to date. You know where the mistakes are happening on time.
So I'd like to just dig into that. So for the viewers out there, one of the things I'm going to tell you is, you know what a client never told you? You know why I'm with you? We took that amazing restaurant fit out. It's because your accounting's so beautiful. We know why we took the Silvakey solution. Is because your compliance is beautiful. Said no client. There's certain things that it's not your core thing. So I want to tell you guys out there is that just outsource that. You can have your bookkeeping done, you can have your accounting done where you just mail it and magically invoices happen, clients get invoiced, they phone from your company and they chasing up the invoice. So I'm a big proponent in, are those things core to you?
100% correct. Outsource what you're not strong at. So things
Or
like,
what's not core?
or things like HR. So
100%.
going from 50 odd staff to 148, more HR, more requirements. Dealing with bigger projects, so you're dealing with more corporate people. So now you're involving yourself with health and safety. On smaller projects, you don't require health and safety. So those types of things were the pains. It's not the actual core business. It was everything else that comes with it was a problematic. But more to the point of what I was trying to say is training. So training. In corporate spaces, there's constant training. Microsoft and them, they develop new stuff, so it's keeping up to date. In smaller companies, you're as good as what you did. So you might have been great 20 years ago, but it's not relevant
You haven't kept up
with times, and managing that is tough.
Okay.
In the entrepreneurial
I like
space.
that. I mean, this is good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, and that's what they need to hear. If you go through a partnership and you go through a breakup, okay, I mean, I suppose there's no answer on what is a good breakup. You know, what's the right way to get divorced? You'd say don't get married. Okay, so the question is,
communication is important. So I think what led to the breakdown of the partnership. So there was a disconnect, but unfortunately in a working environment, staff like to play. So, you know, the staff played a big role in setting up partners against each other.
okay, I suppose when you a smaller team, there's no company politics. There's a lot of
there's company politics because everybody's got
jockeying
their own
for their own position.
They all got their own agenda. They all got their own thing. So, and that's what became toxic in the situation.
So the dynamics
it
changed.
could have been, you know, could have been managed different and more amicably. So you can dismantle partnerships, but it depends on the foundation or what's behind it. What's the pain? So a lot of people like to instigate drama. They love drama.
Tell me about this statement. I've heard this from many CEOs. Clients, the work, the job, no problem. But staff, oh, Nick, that's my issue. The most challenging thing is managing the staff, the team, the pool of people. Clients, business, making money, that's easy, Nick. Can you talk to that statement?
Yeah, look, I mean, so that's my biggest challenge. I think all entrepreneurs challenge. And in
Why is that?
South Africa, I mean, I can only assume lots of things. So multiple cultures, multiple backgrounds, multiple education levels.
All I want to say, one of the things we do at Mont Blanc is we have an amazing HR/recruiting department, which I didn't outsource because I said that's key. I said that, my team, they two amazing ladies that just care for the company and the people like it's their own kids. And I think that when staff have a problem, they first will go to them. Management doesn't see half the issues because they get dealt with. Or should I say, a lot of things that staff have are soft problems. They're not necessarily core foundational issues, okay, that maybe management or CEO should be dealing with. And even if you could deal with it, you're probably the wrong person to deal with it because they don't really want to bring their personal issues to you, and they can be solved, okay, by very good, competent staff that love the company, eat and breathe it, So I think that's also something to say is that you can outsource that functionality, but sometimes it needs to be, in-house.
Look, you say each person's unique, so you need to understand each person differently.
I'm going to throw the dreaded word in for all entrepreneurs and business owners, CCMA. almost like a swear word. Employees have all the rights, and the employer, I just feel, is almost treated guilty till proven innocent. CCMA, good or bad for the country?
From our business perspective, bad.
Okay.
The mentality with the CCMA, it's encouraging people to be less productive. They feel that they can either get easier access to money or never be accountable for what they're doing. Systems like that aren't there to protect the employee. They believe it is, but in the long run it isn't. It's a very disruptive...
I feel that we also as entrepreneurs are more reluctant to hire because it's so hard to fire. I mean, there's almost a slogan, reluctant to hire because it's so hard to fire. I mean, does that resonate with you?
100%.
Okay, cool. We're gonna.
So
what else do you want to tell me about?
It's all multiple
Yeah.
levels. In my business, I deal with more the administrative side of the business and the marketing side of the business. So then it's the day-to-day operation. So the management, when things go wrong, I ask my managers what happened. They're like, this happened, so-and-so didn't come to work, so-and-so damaged the materials, etc. The long and the short of it is, well, what disciplinary measures did you implement? What processes did you implement? I told him, I said, well, did you document it? Yeah, but it's the 5th time this year. Okay, but if you had done it the first 3 times, we would have done a constructive dismissal correctly.
Yeah, so a lot of people sort of fly under the radar because they were never disciplined, or nothing's been put down on paper, so to speak. Nothing was documented.
Yeah.
Are you, I'm talking to you, business owner, I'm talking to you, CEO, entrepreneur, tiger, the man of the moment, the chick that made it happen. Are you insured properly? Did you look at your policy? Are you a broker? No, you're not a broker. Do you have an expert? You want to be claims ready? Click on the link below. Extreme success changes you, extreme failure changes you. How's that changed you? People always say there's school fees, they learned something. You know, sometimes I've also learned that no one learned nothing. Okay, yeah. It was just a failure. But there's sometimes some truths that come out of it.
Sometimes the things that you learn is like, I won't do that again. My cautious side was is exactly that, trust.
Okay.
But it's hard.
But if you become more cautious?
Myself, I've just got business anxiety. I'm scared of refailing again. The reality is nobody looks after your stuff like you look after your stuff, and you need to put that in. Even though everybody smiles at you and thinks you've got good intention, you need to put systems and processes in place to protect. Be optimistically cautious. Sometimes
people think that maybe the paperwork could protect me. My contract's going to help me. If you can't do business on a handshake, don't worry about the paperwork. You don't do business on a handshake, but if the handshake wasn't good enough, don't worry about putting the paperwork in place.
That's 100%.
The Italians have a saying that the cow grows fattest in front of the farmer that loves it. Nobody loves your business like you do.
Yeah.
Okay. So meaning that there needs to be this care and like nurturing love for the business.
Yeah.
In Mont Blanc, we say we care, okay? But it's the give a shit factor. You can't be in business with people that don't give a shit. Isn't that like the hallmarks of a good partner or team member?
That's exactly, I use the fancy word, complacency. That's a big risk factor. You say things that have changed, don't be complacent. So today's good client doesn't mean that tomorrow's good client.
You're quite a detail guy.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that an ingredient that you say is important? I mean, there's shit work, sloppy work, average work. Your work's impeccable. It's amazing. It's got attention to detail. How do you get it there? It must be a core value even if you haven't written it down.
Pride's a big factor.
Number 3, pride in what you do.
My staff specifically, because I say, when you're in here, you're part of Silvakey, so you need to symbolize what Silvakey is, what our culture is. You've got to be proud. I said, I dress neatly every day to work. You need to try and be a image of what I am, to passionate and proud. You wear Manchester United shirt or a football team, you're proud of the logo, but you put on Silvakey brand, you've got to be proud of that it is. It symbolizes something. It's got to become something big, but you're a part of the journey. So
staff also listen to this, people that are working in companies. I mean, wear your company uniform. If you have to wear certain branding that's from the company, wear it neatly. I mean, I went to Jeppy Boys, and you know, one of the things at Jeppy is if your shirt wasn't tucked in, your blazer wasn't on, okay, and everything was right, and your tie, you got jacked. I come from that era where you still got caned. I'm trying to remember the saying, manners maketh the man. You can't really have good manners if you're not presentable neatly, because if you don't have self-respect, then you don't respect others. It is a very important one. We've got 2 million security guards out there. You know, I'm talking to the security guards out there. You know, when you're off shift, okay, you're still wearing your company's brand. Now, I've got a couple of mates that run security companies. You know, I'm talking to you guys out there, security guards. When you're off shift, you're still wearing the company brand. You know, you shouldn't be walking around with the shirt untucked, this and that, the jersey, you know, hanging, you know, over your shoulder. You're not going to a jail.
Branded vehicles. You've got branded vehicles. It's good advertising, but sometimes it's bad advertising if they don't follow the rules of the road.
100%. Are you riding like an arsehole on the road? So if someone wanted to be a partner with you tomorrow, what would you say?
I'd say, sure. You know, what value do you have to add to the business?
Okay.
You know, what value do you have to add to me?
So what I'm hearing here, it's not about a partner coming along and they have the check to pay what their piece is worth. What additional value are they bringing? You know, I like to say, how can they make 1 + 1 = 11? Because we are already making 1 + = 2.
Correct.
So where are they bringing the 10x factor?
It can be a lot of things. Good network, client base,
Business.
capital, relationships, managing certain key roles to make the business run more efficiently. It's not only about capital. Obviously, capital is a big part of business, and that's normally how most partnerships relate. But
well, I've seen a lot of stuff in the Shark Tank where they'll pick a certain shark, okay, because it wasn't just the money. They had influence, they could help scale the business, they had a network.
Yeah.
And your particular shark that you're going to partner with is going to pay to buy 25%, but plus they own 1,000 retail stores that can put your widget in tomorrow. So, I mean, that's like a 10x partner. They bring the money plus the fact that they're going to help you grow your 75% as it would be, okay, as an example. The concept in South Africa, I think we're synonymously bad with sharing the pie. So what's wrong with the sharing the pie? What's right with it?
So, like I say, that's all personal perspective. My perspective, there's nothing wrong with sharing the pie. Everybody wants to share the pie, but they don't understand.
Does everybody want to share the pie? I find that some people don't want to share the pie. They always worry about your slice of the pie.
No, but they want to share your slice of the pie. So
yes.
That's exactly it. So it's, I mean, I'm not opposed to sharing the pie. Everybody wants to share the pie, but they don't know what's involved in making the pie and achieving the pie. So, you know, business, you all assign suretyships, you take personal risk. Everybody wants the reward, but they don't want the risk.
Okay.
You know, clock watching. They don't want to put the time in.
You know, I'm Italian, so there's 8 slices in a pizza. Now, if we were in business together, I had 4 slices, you had 4 slices. You get some entrepreneurs and shareholders, partners, that are so concerned about your 4 slices, trying to see if they can have 1 or 2 more slices of your slice. Why is that? Are we wired this way as humans?
I think in South Africa,
Yeah.
and we are wired like it. It's a programmed thing that we all have. So we're never content. So
Okay.
what makes entrepreneurs different is the difference between wants and needs, and what is satisfied. So some people are satisfied with less, but they always want more, but they don't do enough to get what they want.
And you don't necessarily need more,
Don't need more.
but you want more.
No.
Has your level of trust changed?
100%.
Okay, how has it changed?
I trust a lot less. It's very difficult because by nature I'm a trusting person, but with the experiences in that I'm less trusting.
Are you using more systems? Are you verifying more and trusting less? As we like to say, Russian, trust, but verify. What tech are you using to help you trust people more?
WhatsApp's the best. So don't tell me something's done. I want to see a photo.
100%.
I mean, in my business, that's the thing, because I've been burnt before. You know, I'm the client-facing person, and I've got a team of people below me, and I depend on those team of people. But sometimes, in the past, it's the job's done, client's happy, and 3 days later, I get a client upset, and because something's outstanding, and then I get but.
I got you.
My anxiety levels I'm definitely a lot more paranoid. I'm less trusting, just because, I mean, people aren't trustworthy in general in the marketplace. I don't have people protecting me, so I've got to protect myself.
Yeah, I got you. And the accountability, the buck stops with you.
At the end of the day, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to give you a quick list of questions, and you're just going to answer them off the cuff, okay? Number 1, favorite AI.
Claude.
Favorite accounting system.
0.
Okay, favorite payroll package.
VIP.
VIP. Favorite stock management, yes or no? No stock management. Accounting, in-source or outsource?
Accounting's outsourced, bookkeeping in-house.
Trick question, favorite insurance broker?
Mont Blanc.
Marketing, in-house or outsourced?
Outsourced.
Vehicles, lease or own?
Vehicles, lease. If it appreciates, buy it. If it appreciates, lease it.
Property.
Buy.
Buy. Favorite bank?
I'll use F&B.
What are your favorite sports?
Play golf.
One thing you should read.
I work too hard.
Can we spend 2 minutes, even if this is the end of the interview, some pearls of wisdom, okay, some positive stuff that you would tell an entrepreneur starting out or somebody that was like you, scaling up 10 staff, 3 things you'd tell them to watch or do or put in place or set up?
So the biggest thing with growth is the team that takes you to 100,000 isn't the team that takes you to 1 million.
Okay. What does that mean? I mean, are the staff different? Does it mean I need to get rid of all my staff that I started with?
You don't need to get rid of all the staff. We either need to train up. Not everybody's trainable, but you train and evolve the certain skill sets. And others you need to find professionals. So you need to start hiring professionally for certain roles. So as your business grows to a certain financial point, then you need a chartered accountant in-house to manage the money, or a financial manager, CFO.
That as you scale, it's not just 10 times what you did when you were at 100,000 to 1 million. It's not just keep doing 10 times what you did.
Yeah. Everybody looks at the entrepreneurial journey, but there's a lot of other moving parts that we don't realize, like compliance. And most young entrepreneurs don't have that expertise, especially if you're starting out from scratch. If you're taking over something, normally those systems are in place. I've also learned some people that are good at their job don't become good managers.
Okay.
So, we took guys that were really good joiners and made them production managers, and they couldn't manage people.
I definitely need my guys to fix this in post-production. There's the Peter principle, but I keep quoting it wrong. But it's the getting promoted into a level of incompetence.
Okay.
Okay, well, you get promoted into a level of incompetence. So you were very good as a salesperson. Now you became a sales manager and you suck at that. Okay. Or you were a very good accountant, now you the FD.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not handling that.
And so some people are good at their tasks, but they're not good at reporting or managing people or not good decision makers ultimately.
All right.
So some people are good at taking instructions, but not making decisions.
So I'd like to end on this little pearl of wisdom here, is that we understand that what gets you to 100,000 and what takes you to 1 million is different. And I think that comes down to, in this business, it was that when you start off small, you can be task driven, and later on you have to be results driven.
100%. BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal.
I thank you, Ricardo, my guest today, Ricardo Chaves. Am I saying it right?
Correct.
Yeah, Ricardo Chaves, otherwise known as the Keys. He put the key in Key Man. Thank you.
Put the key in Silvakey.
Yeah, Silvakey, 100%.